Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. My name's Tracy and this is part 3 of the Christmas stocking tutorial. Now I've had a bit of a family problem and so had to do quite a bit of babysitting. So part 3 I'm just going to show you how to do the top part. Now I have made quite a few of these in the past and they've been different. See, how I used to do it was I would just do the turnover cuff in a different colour, but you would get this kind of, you could see the change and I didn't really like it. So I'm going to do some tutorials on the decorations that we can put on, the various different things that we can put on there. So I will be doing that. This one obviously I need to finish off. I've got a penguin, just an applique penguin. I bought these name badges, but I do need something for this one, so I'm going to be doing some anyway. On this one I put a snowman and a Santa face, and I did see a tutorial which looked very similar to this Santa face. I did it with glitzy yarn and fluffy yarn, but there's quite a few different things we can add on to it. But for now, just going to show you how to put the top on. And thankfully, as I'm doing it in a white colour, I can now go back to my red crochet hook, which is one of my favourite ones. So now I'm going to either edge it in some kind of fluffy yarn. So I've got some Robin fleece, which I used on my hot water bottle cover stroke gift bag. And I also have some of the Yummy yarn left over, which is the one that I made this stocking with. I made this part with James C. Brett and this part is with Yummy. I have got to finish it off. So I decided that I might do it in the Yummy yarn. And how we do that is, I've got my scissors and my darning needle ready, which I also need to get some yarn out. There's my Yummy yarn. It's quite thick, this yarn. Now we need to do this with the wrong side facing. So this will be our right side now, because if we do this way round, when we turn it over, you'll see the back. So before we start, we need to close this top part that I mentioned, leave a long tail because we need to sew it. And I don't think I left a long enough tail, but I can do it good enough for now. And then I always go back to it if I have to. So let's just close that top part up, just to just catch half the stitch is good enough for that part. So it just secures it, and secure it at the bottom. And then I'll go, actually that's enough, that's good. I did leave enough after all. Just leave enough to do a loop, which I then leave it nice and small, and I go back into it and I pull it into a knot, so that just secures it a little bit more, and then I can bury this tail along here and pull it through, and then I'll go back on myself just to secure it a little bit more. We don't want that coming out. Go back along, and I've got enough just to go back one more time. As you can see, I'm quite paranoid about my ends coming out. Don't need that happening, and then we can just snip that off. So that is closed up that little part. So now we want to work with this being our right side. So we were working that way round, we're now working this way round, and we can just join at any spot really. And I'm going to work, I'll do my first loop with both of my ends. It's quite fluffy, this yarn, so we don't really want to make it too bulky. So I'm going to work in half treble crochet, which is half double crochet in the US, and I'm going to do that because I liked the way it looked on here. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Now it is a bulkier yarn, so it will kind of turn over itself quite nicely. So I'm just going to do that. Now you can make your cuff at the top as long as you like. Now this one I did about a couple of inches, but if you wanted it bigger, well, you could just turn it over more if you like, but I don't like to see this part, so I like to do it its width. And so I may have done this actually in looks like I did do that in double crochet, in single crochet US, so we'll undo that because it looks kind of nice as it is, and we'll do that in, so rewind, scrub that, we'll do that in double crochets, and we're going so that our wrong side is now our right side, and we will just go all the way around our work. I've still got this cold. It doesn't really want to leave me. It's taken root. So apologies for my croakiness. I've got a drink at hand just in case I need it. So I'm going to leave that much because I want to make it go back in on itself, just so that it doesn't come out anymore. Now this yarn does twist up if you pull out quite a lot. So sorry for knocking the camera there. Don't pull out if you're using this fleecy type yarn, whether it's Yummy, James C. Brett or another brand. Don't pull out too much because it has a tendency to knot, where it will pucker up like that. And yeah, you don't really want to be unravelling huge knots. It's very difficult not to hit the camera, so I do apologise if I do. It's because of the little gimbal structure thing in front of it. So it's difficult to see what I'm doing otherwise. I try and get close enough and then I hit the camera. So luckily it's a gimbal, so it stabilises. So sometimes it doesn't even come out on the video, which, you know, is cool. So just go all the way around with our double crochet in UK terms, single crochet in US. I thought I'd done a half treble or half double, but looking at that stitch I didn't. I probably did it because the heel and the toe are done in this, so I wanted to probably keep it the same. I have to forgive me, I was ill at the time, so my brain isn't as brilliant as it usually is. Not that it's usually brilliant, but you know what I mean. Not as sharp as it normally would be. So just continue all the way around. Now, normally speaking, I would have done the toe and the heel the same as this top part. But as you know, I was at Gary's and I forgot to take a contrasting colour chunky. Well, I did have one with me, but it was a cream colour and I wanted it white. So I did the heel and the toe the same colour, but it probably would have been easier for you to see it if I'd done the white colour, and plus it would have looked nicer. So I may make another one and then just repeat the tutorial part for the heel, because it is a difficult, well, it's not difficult, it's just tricky, you know, when you're not used to it, but it's actually quite easy to make that heel. But I know a few people have said they're going to watch it again. So I'm back at the start, and all that I'm going to do now is slip stitch into my first stitch and then do one chain and do that all over again, all the way around, and pull out more yarn. And that's how I'm going to continue working in these rounds, but not as a spiral this time, not as a spiral, but by joining with a slip stitch and a chain to start. So just keep going. In fact, I might go over that tail again on this row. It's just oops, trying to turn it without my yarn disappearing down the back of my unit, which would be fun. I'd have to go get it. All kinds of things fall down the back there, and I always say, one day I'll have it out and I'll get everything that I've dropped down there, but it's very heavy, so it doesn't happen very often. It's like a little treasure trove when I do finally move it. I haven't seen that for a long time because it's been down there. So let's just keep going. As many rows or rounds as you wish. I've got a feeling with this one, I'll count them. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one I did 10, but you can have it a little bit fatter if you want. It depends how wide you want that top part. But I just continued for 10 rounds to get that height. And I like this particular fleecy white because it does look snowy. It has, snow has that chunky look about it when it's hanging off of branches sometimes, and it just looks like big round tufty lumps of snow. And I think this kind of has that look about it, and I really like that. So that's why I wanted to do it in this. But I think I wouldn't have done the toe and the heel in this. I would have just chosen the chunky white, which I do have a skein of. Just forgot to take it with me. But I would have kept the colour white, but not necessarily done, unless you're making the whole thing from this. It will be just quite chubby, like chunky yarn. The change would be too different, I think. It's okay for the top part, but I don't think it would have looked particularly good on the heel and toe. Again, I'm sorry about my husky voice. I'll be glad when this thing actually goes. And it has been quite a long illness. So yeah, that's just basically it. Just goes all the way around, 10 rows or more, whatever you decide. And then all you need to do is join with a slip stitch to end off and sew in your ends. So I don't think you really need me to go all the way around and show you. So I will end my tutorial here because it's quite simple just to end off and sew in your ends. But of course this is now the wrong side, and once it's reached its height it'll be like this. That's the wrong side, so you just turn it over obviously and the right side shows, and I think that looks kind of nice and snowy. So that's the effect you'll get, and thanks so much for watching, and I'm going to do another couple of tutorials as soon as I can get them together for some decorations, and then I will just put links in the description box to that in all of the series for this particular stocking, and so that you'll be able to see the links if you look in the description boxes. So thanks so much for watching for now, and if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be informed when there are new videos, and hopefully by then I'll have a proper voice because I think I've had enough of this one now. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye for now.